Hey y'all, so today, like I told y'all yesterday, we're gonna actually start kind of setting aside some information so that we can write what's a pretty successful DBQ. And so everybody should have this little construction worksheet. See all this fun stuff, yay! All kinds of great things, all kinds of great times. So all that good stuff. What we'll do is do one of our documents together and kind of hopefully that'll give you an idea of what to do with the rest, and you will spend the rest of class kind of filling the rest of this worksheet out so that you're good to go, and it should definitely be filled out by the end of class today. So you need to make sure that you are working, that you're using the documents, kind of using the notes you took yesterday to formulate your argument and to kind of successfully defend and work that out. So what we want to do is go ahead and jot down our DBQ question. So remember, that's evaluate the extent to which the printing press altered the lives of Europeans. Yay! Right, that's our question. And so the document that we're going to look at, or we're going to use as kind of our sample document, is our William Tyndall document, document 3. So that's what we're going to kind of do together. So what's our relationship to the question? Well, we're talking about the printing press, we're talking about it altering the lives of Europeans. And so what we want to do, or what we want to kind of pull in, is the fact that it's going to be a written work. It's going to be the time period, general time period that the printing press is actually created in. But it's also going to be a work that is criticizing the church. All right, criticizing CC, Catholic Church, and a work that will be circulated around Europe. So Europe, I'm going to say during Reformation, because we want to talk about how it's altering the lives of Europeans as well. Well, when you get to this column right here, theme, what can I say for that? I'd probably kind of relate it to one of these things, right? So gender of the author, maybe education, their social, economic class, the time period that it's written in, maybe the point of view or the just general ideology, the nationality of the author could be huge. You might find that to be kind of your grouping, religion of the authors, location, the type. So, maybe I haven't looked up my all my documents, but I know that this one is related to religion. I know that that's what it's kind of going back to. And so you're going to see a few other ones are related to science or to medicine, scientific revolution, but I know this one's related to religion and kind of the Reformation. So that's what I'm going to say right there. Right? Got that. I want to do that with all 7 documents. And I want to kind of go ahead and separate out my groups. So my religion or Reformation group. I'd put document 3, Tyndall, right? So that I already have that organized all together, because that's going to help me write my thesis statement. That's going to give me kind of my, if I can think, that's going to give me kind of my basis for setting up my thesis and kind of setting up my argument. So another thing I want you to think about is you do not have to go ahead and write like straight up sentences on this, but think about the things going on before before the printing press is invented. And so what I would say is look at your notes. I would kind of think about, with contextualization, with what's leading up to it, look at those early notes going on. Look at how information is being circulated, or is it being circulated? What's going to be the main language that it's circulated in? Who's getting information? Who's kind of the authority on any information? So that's kind of what I'd use as like contextualization in that regard. Maybe even talking about what's, everybody's worldview. Who is the authority on everything, maybe, because that, I think, definitely changes with the printing press too. Thesis statement, y'all, if you would like, you can use the thesis statement from the video yesterday. So that's what I'm going to write as my, kind of example one. So while the invention of the printing press increased literacy and helped to bring about the Protestant Reformation and the scientific revolution, it did not change the mindset of those Catholic Church leaders who continued to condemn those who opposed their doctrines. Typing really hard, guys. So you do not have to use this thesis, guys. You don't. Do not feel like this is the only excellent thesis out there. If you want to try your hand at creating a really good thesis, do that. This is the time to do it. Always in practice and see, well, what can I create kind of on my own? That's why we didn't really touch contextualization, because depending on your argument, what you say as your background might change. And so I don't want everyone to feel like they have to use this as their argument. All right, so now moving into your body, your structure. So think about, if we're making 3 points, we've got our thesis. We're going to have 3 body paragraphs. So you might even write this on the back of one of your pages, like topic sentence, describing supporting documents, kind of break down what each of those is going to look like. Or you could even write your topic sentence in your groups. How do I want to start off this paragraph? But think about, in each of your body paragraphs, you're going to for sure have that. You're going to for sure have, your sentences, your content when you're describing the documents, you're supporting the documents, explaining the documents. And then you possibly will use that outside evidence point where you throw in your own knowledge, or you possibly use that complex understanding point, and you kind of relate those arguments together. So, I throw in not just document 3, but I talk document 5, Council of Trent, right? And I throw that in, I start to kind of corroborate those and discuss those together. And then always have your concluding sentence. Your conclusion can be a restatement of your thesis. It can be very, very short, y'all. The conclusion, if you've done your other stuff, you don't have to make a really good sounding conclusion. It's okay. Nobody's going to be upset with you. You can sometimes throw in your complex understanding there, depending on what you choose for your complex understanding. So remember, you kind of want to predetermine which of those 5 big things do I want to do. Right? So now what we're going to do together is one of these document analyses. And like I said, we're going to do document 3. So you do not have to do this first on here. I know that would be a little weird for y'all. You can go down to document 3 for yourself. So what group or paragraph it's in, well, it's going to be in our religion kind of / Reformation paragraph. That's what we're going to just kind of call it for right now, because that's kind of what we're referring to. So our document description, well, we did that yesterday. So William Tyndale used the scriptures to argue that the apostles were all equal and that Peter did not have any special rank. Yay, document description, easy as that, right? We specifically reference the author, we specifically reference what he's writing about, right? And we're saying that's just a basically quick summarization of what he's trying to say. Support or application to our thesis, well, we wrote that yesterday. The printing press made it easier for Protestant reformers like Tyndale, another specific reference, y'all, to publicly criticize the Catholic Church to a very wide audience, right? So this is what it's showing. Printing press is helping us criticize the Catholic Church. So it's altering our kind of worldview of the Catholic Church. Now I want you to explain the documents. And the reason we're doing this with all 7 is that we have 7 to choose from, right? Or we can literally utilize all 7 in every single way. We can describe, support, and explain with all 7. So I think that's going to be good for us when we are actually writing. It gives us a lot to choose from. So what's our historical context? Remember, that was kind of the weird one that maybe we don't just get right out of it, but we can say Pope's claim to be head of Catholic Church or head of the Catholic Church was based on a claim that Peter was first among the apostles and also the first bishop of Rome. Right, that's kind of the historical context. Intended audience, remember, that's kind of like the general public, or for, especially at this point in time, anyone who can read. He wants to kind of get the word out, right? Our purpose, remember, Tyndale sought to use the scriptures to undermine the authority of the Pope among the general population and lead more people to embrace Protestantism. So his purpose, he wants more people to realize that the Pope is kind of doing some lousy stuff, and he wants more people to become Protestants. What's his point of view? It's the point of view of a Protestant reformer. So, Tyndale's writings were typical of Protestant reformers, right? Just the same as these other guys. At the time, many of whom used the printing press to circulate criticism of the Catholic Church and its doctrines. Right. So this would be like a totally 100% completed document analysis, and that gives us the ability to get for sure all 3 points in using the document. So if we get 3 points there, if we get our point here, and if we get our point by giving our background, we already have 5 of 7, and then all that's left is our outside evidence and our complex understanding, which kind of can be some things that we will talk about later. We already talked about outside evidence. You could use some of those examples like Galileo, Martin Luther, and kind of expound upon them. Complex understanding, you can kind of use what we helped, or what we used kind of yesterday in talking about documents 3 and 5, right? So what I want you to do is take the rest of class to complete this document analysis section, right? Should be able to complete it if you're kind of going through, working hard. Read through those documents, describe what they say, how can I use this to support, how do they support my argument, and then how do I explain them further, right? How do they kind of further support given one of these things, right? Good luck, do your best. What I'll do is come around and check these tomorrow. So anything that you don't finish in class, that becomes homework, all right? So I'm going to check this worksheet tomorrow. Best of luck.